Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's One Plays the Dead Frontier Outbreak.
As I entered the building and looked around, I realized that
we
the
just broke into a
antibiotics
chemist.
I so desperately needed would be kept in the back of the shop, so I carefully made my way towards the counter. Just in front of it, I noticed a body wearing what appeared to be a white lab coat. It was probably the chemist. From the blood stain and bullet hole in his back, I surmised that he had been shot to death.
Okay. No, it's just a corpse. Search the body, shoot it, smash its skull. Okay, well. Right. Now, what I did last time, what I did was I searched the body. It's like, okay, if the guy's careful, I'm sure we can search the body and we'll be fine. Instead, he just started looting it like a madman and was killed. So, I'm gonna...
I hadn't survived the outbreak this long by taking unnecessary chances.
Then why'd you...
I swung the crowbar at his head over and over again, until all that was left was a bloody red mush on the carpet.
Well done.
Not even the infected could survive that.
Well done.
As I walked into the back room,
Do you not
my heart sank. While the front of the shop had been left untouched, looters had clearly broken in at the back and taken all the medicine.
Wow.
Most likely, drug addicts in search of a fix. I searched everywhere,
Huh?
but the only
Really?
thing left...
That's
was
what
a
you're
few
blaming on?
tubes
Yeah,
and
zombie
a
apocalypse, and I'm sure people don't want
Made my
actually
way
to
back to the
heal
front
their
of the shop
friends or
and
anything.
realized
God,
that
they
my
just want to
mission
get
was far
drugged up,
from over.
sure.
I wondered if I
Jesus
could find
fucking
any extra
Christ.
supplies before continuing.
Take the cash from the register, search for a first aid kit, search for extra ammo. We'll just leave. That'd be nice. I think this would be much
I
better.
realized that a place like this probably sold some basic first aid kits and equipment.
Exactly.
It didn't take long to find what I was after. I put it in my backpack and then headed back outside.
Exactly.
I pressed on towards the
And
local
we're going to a
mall.
supermarket.
It was the only other place in town that I knew for sure
Great
had a
name.
pharmacy. There may have been other
The
places,
mall
but I
called
didn't
that.
know where they
It's
were.
gonna be fucking
I
zombies,
didn't want to
aren't they?
risk getting eaten alive while looking for something that might not exist. As the
Fair
mall
enough.
finally came into view, I felt a strange mix of relief and horror. I was now close to my goal, but it seemed that the last few hundred yards would pose an almost insurmountable problem. The plaza in front of the building was infested with zombies, idly wandering in circles and occasionally bumping into each other. As I wondered what to do next, the wind suddenly changed direction, carrying my scent toward the pack of infected. In near perfect unison, the infected sniffed the air and turned to stare directly at me. A split second later, they charged.
Yeah. Tried hiding it. Yeah, sure, they've already seen you there. Totally not going to see you hide or anything. Run past them into the mall. Yeah, fuck that. Run around the block and try to find another entrance or open fire. You said there's a ton, right? Yeah, that's not going to work. That's going to get me eaten. That's probably going to get me eaten. So, by logic, I say
knew I
we
didn't
run
stand a
around.
chance against the oncoming mob of post-human cannibals.
Thank you.
So I turned on my heels and fled as quickly as I could. The infected were surprisingly fast on their feet, but luckily they struggled to avoid the mass of abandoned vehicles and debris that covered the road. I was able to lose most of them by running around the block, and those that still followed were quite a distance behind me.
Just tried to yawn and
As I
didn't.
returned to the plaza, I realized that not many of the zombies had chased me as I had originally thought.
Oh, okay.
Unable to reach the main entrance, and with the infected now approaching from all sides, I had no choice but to run down a small side alley. There was still a single doorway into the mall, and luckily it was still unlocked. I slammed the door shut behind me. It seemed reasonably strong, and was small enough to prevent large numbers of infected from pushing against it all at once.
Okay.
Still, leaving it as it was definitely posed a risk.
Lock the door with the bolts. Try and find things to barricade it with. Lock the door first and barricade it. I'd love to barricade it, but if I suddenly find a horde of zombies in here, I'd rather be outside, be able to get out. So
I had no idea how
Okay,
secure
okay,
the mall was,
fine.
so I decided to leave the back door unlocked in
Yeah.
case of an emergency.
this guy follows my line of thinking. Right.
Now that I was reasonably sure
that's
that
creepy.
the infected wouldn't be getting into the building the same way I did, my attention turned to my new
Lovely.
surroundings. I was in a long hallway with several storage rooms on either side.
Yeah,
In
I
a
can see
vague
it.
odor of damp and chemicals, I realized this was obviously some kind of basement used primarily by the cleaning staff.
Oh,
I
okay.
could see a stairwell leading up to the main building at the end of the hall.
Ensure the area is secure. Yeah, sure, shout out, that's great. Let's wait for the stairs. Search for supplies. Ensure the area is secure.
I carefully explored the various side rooms, making sure that none of the infected had made a home here. Fortunately, this part of the building was empty, but I soon realized that some of the rooms posed a serious problem for security. Several of the windows had been smashed in the chaos following the outbreak. Since I didn't have the time or resources to block up every one, I instead closed all the interior doors and wedged chairs under the handles.
Okay, fair enough.
I climbed the flight of stairs to the ground floor
zombies.
and then headed through a small doorway into the main building. The mall was eerily quiet. and
Looks quite
despite
similar
my
to the
best
mall,
efforts to keep
over
a
in
low
Bristol.
profile, every footstep seemed to echo throughout the entire building.
Walks more
The
quietly.
shutters on most stores had been closed, presumably in an attempt to keep the infected from roaming freely. Frequent bloodstains were an ever-present reminder of how little the shopkeepers had achieved.
Mm-hmm.
A sickening feeling in my gut told me this place had been the scene of a terrible massacre. As I slowly made my way to the central square, I
Don't know
recalled
there's
that
that
the
many
pharmacy
bodies.
was up on
I
the
guess
second
that's
floor.
No, duh.
I could see no signs of life, human or otherwise, and so decided to ascend the nearest escalator and secure the medicine the folks back at the farm so desperately needed.
Okay.
Before I could reach it, the silence was broken by a tremendous bang, swiftly followed by something whizzing an inch past my
Ooh,
head.
they're shooting us.
Someone had taken a shot
Zombies
at
have
me.
guns? Oh, I guess this is other survivors. That makes sense. Take cover. Yeah, try to talk to them whilst they're shooting at me. That's a great idea. I don't want to shoot back either, though. Running will probably get me killed. Just take cover for now.
I immediately dove for the nearest pillar as several more bullets were fired. Amazingly, I wasn't hit. The pillar offered temporary respite from my assailants, but it would only be a matter of time before they outflanked me.
Okay.
I couldn't see them, but I could hear them maneuvering on the floor above. I had to act fast if I was to have any chance of survival.
They have a height advantage. There's more than one of them. They're probably going to shoot me if I do that. I'm guaranteed to die if I try and open fire. Try to negotiate.
I realized that they had me totally pinned down, and that my chances of surviving a firefight were slim.
Yeah.
My only hope was to try and convince them to let me live. I cried, "I'm not infected," as loud as I could. There was a pause, followed by a voice full of fear and doubt. "Prove it." He ordered me to put my gun on the ground and step slowly out from behind the pillar with my hands up. I
Okay.
could see no alternative, and so I reluctantly did what I was told.
I mean, if we're going to die, we might as well try and save
As I stood
ourselves.
defenseless in the open, I explained that I hadn't been bitten, and that I meant them no harm. The survivors whispered among themselves for a moment, before one of them asked me to take off my clothes so they could see for themselves.
Fair enough.
I undressed, and a man armed with a shotgun came down to inspect me. Finally satisfied that I wasn't about to eat them, the man asked me why I was here.
Ooh. Don't say that. That's just a straight up lie. I say we're looking for food and ammo.
I didn't want to risk revealing the location of the compound.
Exactly.
I had no idea if these survivors would try to escape the town and take over the farm for themselves. Instead, I told them that I had come looking for ammunition, food, and a safe place to spend the night. They seemed to buy it, and allowed me to join them on the second floor.
Okay, right. And we're out of time again. Jesus Christ. Right, well, I'm going to leave this video here. If you guys enjoyed, please comment down below what I did right, what I did wrong. Like the video if you enjoyed. I don't know. I really need to work on that. And subscribe for daily updates when I upload. Until next time, have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.